Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome back to another youthful episode of Generation C. My name is Beatrice Turner, bringing you all things youth with the beautiful Jana Hein.
Thank you, Beatrice. You look beautiful yourself today. Now, dear viewers, Generation C aims to empower the youth throughout all of our three segments: My Zone, School Corner, and Varsity Chat Room.
Generation C is the show that recaps the zone, giving you the reason why it is the best read on a Tuesday. But you already know that. Just remember that the zone comes out every Tuesday in the Algemeine Zeitung, the Namibian Sun, and the Republikein. Now, please stay tuned for our daily ad, because today is the day of the Namibian child. Here is a beautiful video following.
Dear viewers, be sure to stay glued to your screen, because up next we will be joined by the fabulous, fantastic, ladies and gentlemen, a local talent, Adriano Visagie, an award-winning actor.
But on the first page, the first and front page, we have a profile about Ina Hingari. Now, we are serving women and youth empowerment with this fierce profile. She is the youngest parliamentarian coming in hot.
Page 2 is nothing short of awareness for our beautiful heritage. The Zone team went out to Ochivarongo High School to find out how they want their heritage to be celebrated. Please read further to hear what these students had to say about their heritage.
And continuing on page 2, be sure to enjoy our story from the coast as we jump into a new regulation to be implemented. Now listen here, this will prevent teachers from doing what they want to do at school.
The feature on page 4 delves deeper into the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and the effects it had, especially on the youth. These issues touch on the effect the virus had on the statistics of teen pregnancy, substance abuse, and mental health.
What is a good pageant without giving back to the community? On page 6, we have a look at Shanique Rabe's sewing school that she opened up in the north. Join us and watch the following video of Shanique.
Hi, I'm Shanique Rabe, Miss Supranational Namibia. As a fashion designer, I have a passion to transfer my skills to the youth. At the start of the COVID pandemic, I reached out to unemployed seamstresses for the construction of much-needed masks. As they had sewing skills, it provided them with not only an income, but a sense of hope during trying times. I realized that the majority of Namibian youth might never have an opportunity to learn a physical life skill like sewing, and immediately started presenting sewing classes to high school girls at an orphanage. Their grateful hearts and willingness to learn inspired me to grow this project even further. Fortunately, I could use the wonderful platform of Miss Supranational Namibia to open a junior sewing school in a rural area in the far north Zambezi region. Teaching adult ladies my newly written curriculum, they are now presenting weekly classes to boys and girls, teaching them construction skills like sewing reusable sanitary pads for their community. My mission is to empower the youth to be emotionally and intellectually independent, and I am determined to grow my From the Ground Up projects internationally. As this initiative can take on any form anywhere in the world. Yes, I transfer my sewing skills, but I want to inspire and assist anyone who has the opportunity to learn any life skill and transfer it to your community's underprivileged youth. By teaching them a life skill which they can use for the rest of their lives, we are giving them the opportunity to be the authors of their own lives.
And dear viewers, just to remind you, as it is the Day of the Namibian Child, the MyZone team went out to ask some learners how they felt about the educational booklet and their feelings on this program. You will see here on page 7 that there are happy faces, students showing their artwork, sharing their views on this program and this educational booklet.
My naam is Eugenia en my van is Lokar. Ek hou baie van hierdie boeke. Dit is lekker om in te skryf. Ek het al in graad 2 saam met dit geskryf en dit is baie lekker goed om in te leer. My naam is Tenay Lou. Ek hou van hierdie boekie. Van is baie interessant.
Now, as mentioned, viewers, we are joined by the wonderful Mr. Adriano Visagie, the award-winning actor.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Visagie, if possible, could you give in a nutshell your background, where you are now, and who you are?
Wow, okay, that's a lot. Well, in short and sweet, I'm an actor. I'm an award-winning actor, international for that matter. I'm a host, so I host events. And of course, I'm a full-time banker. That's my job, so that's what I do as an 8 to 5. In a nutshell, I started doing theatre. I did performing. First, I did dance, which was contemporary dance at the College of the Arts, and then ventured into the corporate world. So theatre has always been my first love, and then eventually I found film. So that has sort of become my second love. So I love being on the screen, but also theatre is the space that I really can just go to and escape to.
I understand. Now, the Kapana movie that you were an actor in continues to make space internationally. Now, that is quite an achievement.
Thank you.
Well done to you.
Yeah.
What does it take to create such an internationally acclaimed movie, in your experience?
You know, the world now is moving in a space where I feel we're searching for identity, and I think the reason why Kapana has found itself and the world has found so much interest in this production is because it really sheds light on the diversity of who we are as Africans, but also just the fact that we've got the Sodomy Act in Namibia. We also shed light on, an Avambo guy and this colored guy and the respective love, the unconventional love that is being portrayed in Kapana. And I think the truest essence that, you find people that still think that HIV/AIDS is sort of a death sentence, or the usage of PrEP is not applicable in this day and age, relationships that come with secrets. So I think it's one of the first films in Namibia that has been screened over 35 film festivals. So it's big, and recently we just won Best Feature Film in Accra, Ghana. So I think that is such a big accreditation, not just for film in Namibia, but for entertainment in Namibia as a whole.
Yes. It's beautiful to hear you say everything. I can see why you are in front of the camera.
Thank you so much, Beatrice.
Now, my third question to you is, where do you see the Namibian entertainment heading towards in the future?
Sure, that's a big one. I honestly feel we've found our space, we've found our identity. People now know Namibia. 2.5 million people, everyone always say we're such a small population. Yes, we are, but we're a big country. We're a very big country with a small population. So I think the industry is growing where it needs to. The recognition is there. There are a lot of international artists and Namibian artists that have stepped onto the forefront. So I see a lot of collaboration. I see a lot of support. We're a nation that really supports one another. That's one thing we've seen. We've seen that with Beatrice and Christine Boma. So if we can support sports, we can support arts, we can support whatever we possibly can in terms of development. Thinking and looking at the magnitude of Kapana, it also shows the cinematography and the different dynamics of who we are. And I think as a country, if we can bring in more people that can come eat Kapana and also watch the film, it will really expose the bigger picture of who we are as a country and maybe increase tourism in the times that we're finding ourselves in now.
Yes, especially.
Yeah.
Wow, it's listening to you. I haven't watched the movie personally, but now I will.
But have you had Kapana before? You're not Namibian. We're stopping this interview right now.
There's always a first time.
There's always a first time, yeah. But you should try it out.
I think I definitely will. Now I'm really inspired.
I mean, you're wearing fellies, so that's Namibian.
I'm halfway there. Okay, now my next question to you, sir, is what encouragement would you give to the youth now that you have experience and your movie has made such made it into national space?
Yeah.
What's your advice to the young people?
Yeah. Sure, I don't want to say it's a tough one. I get a lot of inboxes on social media, and it's always the question of, I want to step into your footsteps. And I think the youth, and moreover, if parents are watching this, should really support their children in terms of what they want to achieve in life. Long gone are the days where, everybody wants to be a doctor, everyone wants to be a lawyer. I think also we've become a nation that wants to box creatives. So maybe let's stop the boxing of people and the youth. We can all be, like this little pillow here, and have different facets of who we are as a people. So the support is definitely a thing, but my advice is to really identify who you are. If we don't know who we are, we don't know where we're heading to. Whether it's a gap year that you need in high school, whether there's time out that you need, take that time to find what you respectively want to do. I did that. I took a gap year, did some waitering in South Africa, and then came back, then ventured into radio, and then of course what I wanted to do eventually. So fundamentally, identify who you are and what you want to achieve, and then secondly, chase for what you want. Go. The world is definitely your oyster, so just go for what you want. Yeah.
And we are becoming a global community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can literally knock on my doors and I'll be able to say, hey, I'll guide you. So so my advice to the youth is really, just find who you are as a being and then go for that. Yeah.
Okay, now, sir, I guess my last question will be, can we still expect something from you in the future? Is there something planned that
Absolutely, a lot still. We're gunning for so many things. There's a project I'm working on that I signed an NDA for. There's a lot. There's a lot of productions that you'll be seeing on your screens as well. So there's a lot coming up. Keeping fingers crossed and knocking on wood that we will be taking Namibia internationally. There's a project I'm working on, and I'm going to announce it right here on my zone, which is that I'll be mentoring. There's a project I'm working on, mentoring a young actor or actress. So that is something that will be out on my social platforms really soon, because I personally believe you need to nurture an actor or an actress from a very young age, so that we can say we can have the next international award-winning actor, as opposed to starting at the age of 30 or 35 or 40. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just nurturing someone from a very young age. Yeah.
The raw talent,
Exactly.
Now, we are very honored that you just announced this on my zone on Generation C. Could you quickly mention your your social media pages?
All of them, Adriano Visagie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter.
All of them.
What's the latest one though? Snapchat?
Yeah,
all of it.
Too many.
Yeah, there's way too many, but all of it, it's just Adriano Visagie.
Okay. Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of our interview today.
I thought we just got started.
I know, but we went through so much information, and it has been an honor to have you on the show. I'm going to try Kapana, I'm going to watch a movie, and I guess I'll keep wearing my fellies.
Keep on wearing more fellies, but definitely try out Kapana with the salsa, and ask whoever's taking you, what is a Kapana burger?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and they will be able to tell me.
They will be able to tell you.
Oh, I can't wait for that experience. Thank you so much, Mr. Visagie. We expect great things from you in the future, and we are really proud that you are such a Namibian, a wonderful Namibian, representing us in the global space.
Thank you so much.
Well, Jana, if I have to say so myself, what an informative version of the zone this week. The edition, my apologies. Now, please be sure to stay tuned, because we will be heading on to School Corner, and a learner from Jan Jonker will be taking you through that segment. So please stay tuned for that.
Welcome back to another exciting Schools Edition Corner, where we bring you the school's news. My name is Felicia Hafenanya from Younger Afrikaner High School. So, in our first edition, we have my own school, Younger Afrikaner. So, on our front page, you have the Younger classes not having class doors, where Felicia Hafenanya, me, myself, and I wrote the article about that, where some of our classes don't have class doors, and I wrote about an article, so you can go in our school newspaper and just read on your own, because I feel like when you read it on your own, you will get more information.
Step number 2, you remove your hose. Fire hose. Yeah. Step number 3, twist and remove. Safety pin. Step number 3, hold the hose straight with your thumb on the nozzle. Step number 3, 4, and then pressure. 10 cubic is away from the fire, go with the wind.
Coming with a cold Benguele current in news from Swakop Moon Secondary School, also known as Triple S Times. The lead story on the front page covers the fun that was had at the Namibia Media Holdings Annual Media Camp, where they had a media camp, and you can read in their Triple S Times, where they said all things media. That's the heading of the article. Watch the following video as we quickly dribble through sport news about a class tournament that was held.
Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. History teacher here at Triple S, and I'm also the school team coach. And I would just like to tell you guys about the school tournament and how it helps our students when it comes to scouting for talent, in order to prepare for football tournaments for our students. So this year we did not have any, due to the fact that there was COVID and lockdowns and restrictions, and many of the students were somehow disappointed that there was no class tournament, and so they were really hoping to look forward to playing or showing their talent. So many of them were quite disappointed, but they got another feeling of having to focus much more on their books. And yeah, but we are still hopeful. Maybe next year we'll have one. So yeah, so it's basically a good initiative. Unfortunately, this year we did not have. So yeah, maybe next year we'll have one.
Last but surely not least, we have a look at the front page of Juneside High School. So on the front page, they have the Racing Juneside spirit and the editor's note encouraging. On the editor's note, where the editor shares her wise words encouraging the students to do better. So next up, we have a video from Bergop that was shared by a teacher. So please feel free to watch and enjoy.
I'm Ms. Madeleine and I'm a teacher at Bergop. I teach English. I'm here with one of my learners, Chantley Herze, and I'll be asking her a few questions with regard to COVID-19 and her grades. So Chantley, it's the first year in grade 10. How have you adjusted from grade 9 to being in grade 10?
It's been quite difficult, but I'm getting used to how the levels of our education is upgrading, so I'm getting used to it.
COVID-19 hit us again this year, and you guys had to be at home for almost 2 months. How did that impact the transition from grade 9 to grade 10?
We learned a new thing of high school, and it was really hectic. We didn't know anything, understood anything, so that really downgraded our self-esteem.
Okay. We're nearing the end of the year. Matric farewell is coming up. You guys are involved. Are you excited?
Yes, I am. I can't wait.
You can't wait. And what do you expect from the rest of the year next year? What are some of the ideas that you might have for next year?
I don't really know. I think I'm gonna plan to become more focused on my work and seeing that I'm grade 10, and then I really want to go to grade 11 and have my kind of cheap. Yes.
Next year we'll be at home, June, July. Do you think it's a good idea that the schools are closing for winter?
No, I think that will be even more difficult for us. So seeing that we're not used to ice cream yet, but I think we will try and
Thank you, Shantanu. That's it. Thank you.
On that note, we have to end the School Corner segment. And thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you in the other episode. Thank you.
Joining us today in studio for the interview, Mr. Michael Groenewald, a representative from Pupkewitz MegaBuild. Mr. Groenewald, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, Mr. Groenewald, could you tell us a bit about Pupkewitz MegaBuild's graduate program, please?
Yes, so the graduate program actually started in 2019. It was the first year that we were doing the graduate program. And this initiative came from the group, or from a group perspective, where we wanted to give a hand or help students who are graduating by trying to beat that catch-22 situation where you need the experience but you have the degree, but you have the degree but you need the experience.
I see.
So we're trying to help them gain the experience through this graduate program to better equip them to go and look for jobs outside in the market.
Okay, sort of giving back to the community in a way.
Yeah, it was exactly that, helping the community, building skills and helping them to gain that experience.
Now, Mr. Groenewald, could you give us just a bit more information on what exactly this program entails for students?
Okay, so by the beginning of the year, February, we start the program, and all the successful candidates are invited to Windhoek, to our head office, to undergo a thorough induction and orientation week. Whereafter they go back to their branches, wherever they were successful, where they got the position, and then they start a rotation process going through all our departments. The aim of this is to give them that experience through all the departments, all the different facets of our business, and give them that valuable experience where they can link all the different departments to each other.
I see.
So this continues for 6 months. Usually in the past it continued for 6 months, but now for the 2022 program we extended this to 9 months, which allowed us to better mentor the graduates throughout their process, and also allowed them to get more experience, learn more stuff through their program, and then at the end just be better equipped for going into their future careers afterwards.
I see. Could you perhaps give us a ballpark figure of how many graduates you do have currently?
So we started in 2019 with 14 graduates. In 2020 we had 15, and in 2021 this year we have 25. And we're currently left with, throughout the whole 3 years, we're left with 21 graduates in our employment still. And in 2022, we're again looking to appoint a minimum of 15 graduates.
Wow, awesome. And what, for the students or the people out there that are interested in joining the program, what would you say are the requirements?
So it is a graduate program, and we're looking specifically for students who graduated by the end of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And we're specifically looking for students with BCom degrees, so anything relating to commerce, and that can be anything from finance to HR, marketing, you name it, and we are looking forward.
Yes. Okay, and when would be the next intake?
So the next intake is actually opening today on Monday.
Okay.
So everybody, we encourage you guys to apply, to tell your friends to apply as well, because we're looking for as much as possible candidates to apply and to get the best of Namibia.
Yes, of course. And where can people actually complete this process?
So we're only taking online applications. So we encourage everybody to go to our website, www.megabuild.com.na, and just look for the career section, and then you can just submit your application over there.
Awesome. Mr. Groenewald, thank you so much for your time. It was lovely having you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And now, dear viewers, we head over to Varsity Chat Room.
And on page 8, you'll read a very exciting piece about the Windhoek Culinary School that just opened up. And while on the topic of excitement, as you have just seen, we have cell phones in our hands because here at Generation C, we don't move backwards, we move forwards. We had tablets, now we have cell phones, and you can only think about what comes next. But we'll leave that for another episode. Over to you, Jana. Let's get on with the zone.
Well, thank you, Visagie. Next up, you can see that Pupkewitz MegaBuild has launched a new graduate program calling all people under the age of 25 to join to learn new skills and knowledge from this program.
And then Amalia Klute from Lingua College, she shares her experiences of tertiary education. Please watch the following video for insights into studying in HR.
Hi, my name is Amalia Klute. I am currently studying at International Training College Lingua. I am studying the Bachelor's of Human Resource Management Honours Degree Level 8. The course is 4 years long. It was recently introduced, and what made me choose this course was, you could have said, following my father's footsteps. He as well did human resource management, and also just the impact that HR have on its employees in just trying to be a better organization.
Now, unfortunately, viewers, that brings us to the end of this episode of Generation C. Please remember to clear your time every week at 2 p.m. because that is when your youth news comes out.